At the intersection of innovation, technology, and the customer experience, that's where you find distinction.
From the customer's perspective, how have you defined what makes you different? And clarity is so hard for organizations. It's so difficult for brands for this fundamental reason. You not only have to define what you are very precisely, you also have to have the courage to say, this is what we are not. Well, I'm going to suggest it simply means that great isn't good enough to grow in today's changing marketplace. Man, you've been great, but now you have to take it to a better standard, because change is all around us. So if what you're doing today is what you did yesterday, it's a recipe for failure in today's world. Your brand is not a promise. Your brand is that conversation that customers have about the congruency between the promise your marketing makes and the performance that your frontline delivers.
The customers that we attract will always be more profitable than the customers we've had to pursue. So how, through the experience that we create, both in sales and in how we serve them, how do we make that attractive to customers so we create marketplace distinction? That's what my work is about.
Hi, I'm Scott Mckain. I'm the author of the book Iconic and a professional speaker. You know, my favorite thing about what I get a chance to do is that you can make an impact on an organization. There are companies and leaders that correspond with me constantly, that they've taken some of the advice from my books and my speeches and employ that in their organization, and they have lower turnover in employees and higher profitability. So the opportunity to make a contribution is really the best part of what I get a chance to do.
Think of Indiana Jones. When I said that, did you think of him? Probably not. Did you think of him? Probably not. But technically, Indiana Jones is an intellectual property company. Until recently, it was owned equally, 50-50, by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. They signed the contracts. They produced the movies. They signed the deals. They owned Indiana Jones. Yet when I said think of Indiana Jones, you thought of the employee who created the experience for you. When I have an experience with your brand, I'm not thinking about a CEO or a board of directors at the home office. I'm thinking about the person at the call center or the person in front of me. I'm thinking about the individual who created that experience for me. It means that every member of your team is responsible for this.
She said, "Oh, that is great. For you see, sir, Hertz can always get another car. We could never get another Mr. Mckain."
I didn't mean to hit him, he stopped, right? And for that instant, I became a Hertz customer for life, exactly. Avis is $1 cheaper, I don't care. When you can make it about that customer, you know them so well. You know their home. You know their desires. You know their wants. When you know them, when you make it personal, then it naturally makes it emotional. Can any individual make a difference? And may I suggest to you, that is the only way a difference is made. In other words, professional services firms do not get better. Professionals in professional service get better. Nothing gets better until you and I get better. For you see, what bothered people, what scared people, is what we've already talked about today. And that is, it's not change that influences us, it's the unknown that accompanies change. But you have the skills, you have the talent, you have the ability to deliver. It's just a matter of what you'll do next.